Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine HyVee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now,
can we look outside really quick? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Tony Tone. It's the last day of April. Our man, Chris Anderson, is out there just meticulously working on getting the perfect shot of these plants, and I love it. The CVI Bank and Trust aisle cam has been outside the Market Grill Express, and he's just so good about making it look really nice, and that's worth recognizing. Like, he's got this little setup out there. There's like a box that the camera's on, and there's these plants, and the guy's he's just out there. He's like leaning over, like sizing it all up, and it looks awesome. So yeah, and that's like kind of the behind the scenes look. Like, you can see trying to get like the depth of field in there, and so there you go. CVI Bank and Trust aisle cam. Shout out to our friend Chris Anderson for putting that together. So welcome to the program, everybody. It's good to be here. So last day of April, May starts tomorrow. Can you believe it? First day of May. Wow, coming in hot on a Friday, that's for sure. I'm going to mention a couple of things, and then we're going to get to our guest that's here today. So tonight, starting at 4 p.m., it's the second time we're doing the drive-through steak night. Big success last week, over like 75 steak dinners sold, and tonight from 4 till 7, right out in between the entrance and the exit here at the store. Boney and the kitchen are going to be set up, and they're just you don't even have to get out of your car. I mean, that's the best part of this whole thing. You could just drive up and say, you got any steak? And they'll say, yes, old prospector, we do. And then you'll say, look out for coyotes. And they'll say, there's no coyotes. No, anyways, it's drive-through steak night, and it's all on the screen right there. 8-ounce New York strip, mashed potatoes, gravy, corn. You can add some shrimp. You can add mushroom and onions, dessert options. They're also doing racks of ribs for $13.99. I forgot to add that on there because I felt like it would just be kind of too much. So ribs, steak, out in front of the store. Don't even have to get out of your car. It's super easy. I love that this went over well last week. Also, couldn't have asked for a nicer day weather-wise. It was literally a wash yesterday. So to have it be as good-looking outside as it is right now, that's today, Thursday, April 30th, drive-through steak night. I'm going to mention the local ad just briefly that's on the back page of the Discover Muscatine newspaper. I like how we've been doing this. And it's right there on the screen. So there's great deals throughout the grocery store aisles and in the deli. And then there's how about another 10-cent fuel saver for gas? So I have 55 cents on my fuel saver right now. You got to cut that coupon out, and then you could save an additional 10 cents. So I'd have 65 cents off. And by the way, I need gas, right? I think for the month of April, I'll have put gas in my 2012 Toyota Sienna Dad van. I maybe had gassed up once or twice. So if you're already enjoying the savings, why not save even more? Lawn and garden on there as well. As we look at the bottom of the ad, and of course the garden center is rocking and rolling. The iron decor outside is super cool, and we want you to stop out to the garden center and pick up whatever you need, whether it be that iron decor or the hanging baskets. I like a hanging basket because you literally just hang it up and water it. It is, you could have the furthest thing from a green thumb. What do? Well, you hang it up and you water it. Is that it? That's it. Oh. And then, that's just great. So that all looks good. And then speaking of the garden centers, tomorrow and Saturday, May 1st and 2nd, everything is 15% off. So that includes like patio furniture, everything outdoors, garden center, 15% off. So, and I keep telling my wife, like, you can see in that picture, there's an outdoor sectional. Wouldn't that be great on our deck? What about like a fire pit or a fire table or potting mix? Oh my gosh, I need to get my mulch tomorrow. 15% off. I'm definitely buying my mulch. The cedar mulch. Yes. I'm really excited that I'm remembering that I can also enjoy that 15% off discount as we're doing this. So please just know that. And then the last thing I'll say, listen, Mother's Day is next Sunday, May 10th. Got a couple examples of some Mother's Day cards. Treat mom, will ya? Definitely probably a different Mother's Day this year. We're still going to be doing deliveries from the floral shop. So whether it is a card, flowers, candy, I love this right here. This is a nice looking. This is only $10 too. Look at that. That's beautiful. I should probably set it down. Not the best hand model. I never claimed to be, but that's $10. That's nice. So take care of Mom. Mother's Day. This is probably my favorite card. And like someone like my mom would maybe not think it's super funny. She'd be like, come on. So, and then you open it up. It says like, but that's kind of my sense of humor, right? Thanks for keeping me alive, Mom. With the food and roof and stuff. And then you'd probably write something clever like, you're the best. Don't know what I'd do without you. Love you, Mom. Love you. All right. That's good. So Mother's Day very soon. Next Sunday. Don't forget that. Okay. Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army is here. He was supposed to be here on Tuesday, which was also his birthday, but I had to cancel the show, which I don't like doing. But I appreciate you being so gracious to reschedule. I feel like you had a fun birthday. You were texting me, and you were like, did you know about this? And I was like, and I didn't know that there was. So for folks, and we have video that we'll show from the Salvation Army Facebook page, you had a parade for your birthday.
I had a parade for my birthday. I definitely thought you canceled, like,
yeah,
so they could get me at where I need to be on time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a parade for my birthday, and I was completely oblivious to it.
So you were like standing outside, and we'll see this in the video right here. So you're standing outside, and then I believe it's your wife Liz filming, and all of a sudden,
no, that's Mary Darnell filming.
Oh, Mary Darnell was filming. So then when the police start to show up, what do you think's happening?
So when she gets to about that pine tree, in the road, the sirens came on, and I looked, and I just looked back down, and I thought, who is she chasing? And then she turns down the road, and I thought, oh, like they're doing this for me for my birthday. Wow. And Mary is just laughing because Ashley Lovelace messaged me after you canceled and said, hey, can you be on my show tomorrow? Mm-hmm. But I'm recording it at 10:30 in the morning at Salvation Army. Yeah, I could do that. So I left the meeting early to get there. They did. And then she's like, hey, I'm here. I'm outside. I have my daughter with me. Can you come outside?
Jeez Louise.
And so I did. And then boom.
So I think this is great, and this is kind of becoming like the way that we're celebrating birthdays, or a lot of the schools have done these, and you can see the amount of cars. So it's fantastic.
I don't do big things for my birthday.
Sure.
Hardly ever. This was pretty cool. This was neat. And Grace pulled up, and she had to play Uptown Funk because that's what we always listen to in the car with the kids. So she was blasting Uptown Funk, and
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this was a nice break from, and we were, just before we went on, we were kind of talking about the fact that your job with the Salvation Army, Lieutenant Bach, is more of a lifestyle than it is a job, because you were always Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army. Was this a nice, and I know you're at the Salvation Army, you're in uniform, but did it feel like this is a nice break from, because it's been an intense last couple, 30, 40 days.
It did. It was unexpected on my birthday.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything was going to happen. I didn't expect it to happen. So the fact that did happen, when I saw the cars coming through, and Officer Pena with the big smile on her face, like, flipping that siren on at me, it was, and the look at my kids' faces, when they pulled up, Daddy, it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I thought, at first I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to get you guys, man. Oh, I'm going to get y'all. But, it meant a lot, really, that people showed up, and Sunnybrook was there.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it was cool.
And again, you guys haven't even been here a year, but and we talked about this last time. It's been such a wild, busy year. And Chris, here's how I know. Can you bring that over? Here's how I know that I wasn't involved in the parade, because I had something planned for your birthday, and this was ready to go, but then I had to cancel. So this is a happy belated birthday cake to Lieutenant Greg Bach. And I had the thought, and I got it together Monday, and then I had to cancel. So they kept it for me, obviously. And when I walked over to the bakery today, they were like, "We were paging you," and I'm like, "I know, trust me." Again, it wasn't my plan. So when you were texting me, I'm like, wait, did he know that I had a cake for him? Like, did he still go? And they're like, here's your cake, man. So no, I did not know about the parade, but and I'm glad that happened though, because I do feel like you guys have done an awful lot of giving, so you can receive, and that's okay, right? I mean, what an awesome thing! A parade, a cake, like it's all worthwhile.
Well, thank you. That's awesome. My kids will enjoy digging into that too. So
right, and it's good timing right now. It's 8:45 in the morning, so breakfast cake is always good. How are things going with respects to meeting the need, obviously? And I think it's important to keep having you here because I know that tomorrow across 77 counties in the state of Iowa, things will start to open back up. Restrictions will be loosened up a little bit. Not the same for Muscatine County, Scott County, and the other 22 counties that are not going to be opening up. So have you seen a need dip at all, or has the demand grown since the last time we spoke?
It really fluctuates from day to day. The mobile food pantry at Salvation Army, that kind of goes, numbers fluctuate. We had half a dozen, 10 cars come through yesterday.
Wow.
For mobile food pantry.
Sure.
Whereas MCSA down in where the people can walk to that, they have more that come. So their numbers go up and down. The hot meals, those numbers fluctuate. When I think earlier this week we had right at like 295, and then Wednesday we had again over 300.
That
315, 320.
So many people.
Yeah.
Like I can't. So and it's all walks of life, and that's just unbelievable to hear that it's that many folks still relying on 295, but more like 300. So just yesterday it was 315 people. Is that what you're saying?
I believe so. It was quite a bit.
Holy smokes! That's
and then come
absolutely
Friday,
wild.
who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Whenever
the
numbers get put in, and we're also doing now the cleaning closet. So those numbers. There's another need being met in the community. It's a great thing. So
it's just wild to hear that. Community support has been there, continues to be there. Just this week, and you kind of had alluded to the fact that Kent was going to help out with. They have this kitchen, so they're able to take food that you already had, kind of do some meal prepping, and then they're able to bring some supplies in. So that's got to be nice, because you were using your kitchen at the Salvation Army, right? Which is a good sized kitchen, by the way. Yeah,
it's a good sized kitchen. We had Dan Sawlier.
Okay.
He was cooking. I didn't know he used to have a food truck in town too. This guy,
did not know that.
He's a good cook. He's graciously volunteered all of his time to do this for us. He and his granddaughter, and great stuff. He cooked great meals, and Kent, contacted and wanted to get involved as well. So they're doing the Wednesday and Friday meals for the majority of the people.
Okay.
On Mondays we do the big meal, but all the feeding days we do the specialty meals for the diabetic.
And how many of those would you say that you're doing? Like, and I don't know, maybe it's something you're not tracking individually.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we track it. Salvation Army will want the statistics on it. So I think we do about 54 diabetic meals.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, I still just can't get over the fact that you're able to do everything out of the Salvation Army with partnerships with MCSA, United Way, and now Kent coming in will just kind of, I don't know, maybe it'll, what have you thought about? So like if Kent has the Wednesday, Friday, you guys are still going to be doing diabetic meals. Like there's not going to be a slowdown at the Salvation Army.
No. Oh, no.
If anything, you'll be able to maybe help more people that have dietary restrictions, right?
Yeah, and then, we also have to bump up the social services aspect of it again. We have to start making appointments for people to submit their utility stuff, their mortgages, their rent, their... I think we'll help with car payments now, stuff like that, so people don't lose their vehicle, because they need to get to work, when work comes back.
So have you had a lot of those more than in the past?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is that process like for people that are watching? So if it's them or someone they know that really is like in a bind and they could use some help, how does that process work?
They can call Salvation Army. They can Facebook our message our Facebook page. They can, there's all the agencies are doing social services, but for Salvation Army, just contact the Facebook page or call our office and talk to Sissy. The phone often rings and rings and rings off the hook without an answer because we're always so busy. I'd say the quickest way to get,
Jeez Louise.
and a lot of mortgage companies will work with people.
Yeah,
during these
absolutely,
times, but people, they still want to make their payment. They want to have that good payment history. They want to stay up to with themselves in their mind. You know, if they have to contact the mortgage lender and it goes, you know, they just think it's kind of like a skewed thing in their mind. That
Well, I feel like there's a lot of pride at stake, and like, nobody could predict a pandemic or being out of work or being not working as much. So it takes a lot to ask for that kind of assistance, especially like you said, you're having, whether it's food or financial support, people that have never needed anything in their life and they don't even know where to begin. So again, that's why we talked to Lieutenant Bach on this show, is to just remind folks it's okay. Nobody's going through this alone. And maybe it's just because the one thing I want to ask, and again, certainly, you know, it seems like we're going to reassess counties like Muscatine in 15 days, give or take, right around May 15th, to kind of see if things could be loosened up, opened back up, if our number of new cases come down a little bit. So I wonder for the Salvation Army, like, because I want to ask, have you gotten calls from people that are maybe just having a hard time coping? And certainly MCSA has, you know, the Robert Young, they've been doing a lot of online stuff for folks, because that's another part of this whole thing. You know, how is our mental health? So is that something, because I know Salvation Army is a lot under one umbrella, but that's something that you can help with as well, right?
Emotional and spiritual support. We have, I don't have the card with me, it's on our Facebook page and online, that you can call the number, and it's free. It's open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it's anybody in the 11 states that make up the Central Territory that we're in. So the Midwest Heartland states, it's free, and you can call in and talk to, you know, trained mental health professionals.
That's fantastic.
You know, and just talk through, or some member of the clergy that's you know, man on the line. Call in and talk to them about what you're feeling. And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have to call and reach out to somebody, because these are times that nobody has really lived in before. So we're all doing this, and you know, we have to have grace with each other and patience. And if you have to reach out for help, man, do it, because there's no shame in doing it. And it's, like I said, it's okay to need someone to listen.
Have you heard from anybody in Salvation Army leadership as far as, you know, if it is May 15th, Lieutenant Bach, and they're like, okay, Muscatine County, things can kind of start to get back to normal, will they have, you know, certain restrictions in place as far as social distancing within the Salvation Army? You know what I mean? Because that's what it seems like it's happening tomorrow across the state and some of those other counties, is like, restaurants can open at half capacity and you're going to have to do social distancing. Have they said anything or alluded to anything yet?
So the divisional commanders were in yesterday, actually.
Oh, cool.
Major Kelly and her husband, Major Jesse, they were in, and they kind of toured the facility, asked what we're doing, and talked to the staff. And so I mentioned, hey, the state's going to open up. You know, if the county opens up, our numbers, you know, are flatline or whatever they call it. You know, what are we going to do? And she said, you know, it would be easy for me to sit in Peoria and tell you what to do in Muscatine. She said, but you're the officer, you know, and you know, you need to figure out what works best for you.
That's good.
Always understanding and knowing that the 6 foot guideline, you know, social distancing, be smart, 6 foot distance. And she talked about, you know, what happens, do we want to open up church services again? Well, what if it's still the 10-person rule? Are you going to shut the 11th person out of your worship service? No, you know, so we might still do a lot of things online until really people feel comfortable. You can open up stuff all you want. But if people don't feel comfortable coming out and shopping and visiting and being in close contact, then, you know, it's for what?
It's so weird. Like I keep seeing, you know, articles about like, we'll never shake hands again. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Right. Like my whole life, it was just beaten into my head, like handshake, eye contact. I mean, I remember my mom's dad, Grandpa Bill, that he was like, you know what I mean? Like just and that might never happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or are we going to have to do like are we going to have to do this where you do like hold on, let me get some, I mean, and I'm not downplaying things certainly, but it just seems like, I don't know, but you know, I mean, we want to be able to get things back open so that, because the Salvation Army is such a great resource, and it's been incredible to watch how quickly you've had to adapt to this climate and continue to serve more than ever. But then just as quickly, you'll kind of have to adapt to bringing people back in to the four walls. And right, like everybody else, like, yeah, there's going to have to be some restrictions and guidelines. But I like that the Commander Kelly phrased it like that. And the commander's correct. Like, you know what's going to work for Muscatine, just like commander would know what would work best for Peoria. So, and you probably haven't had a lot of time to think about that because you're feeding 315 people yesterday.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of time to think about that stuff. But when we go out with my family, that's when I'm like, oh, okay, now it's a different mindset. I have my family with me.
Sure.
You know, how are we going to socially interact with people? Can Grace run up and hug her teacher when she sees her in public? You know, can Samuel go high five his buddy he sees, you know, at Menards or something like that? And right now, probably no. Like, I do the elbow bumps, boom, you know, with folks all the time. It's fun, you know, and it also, you have that interaction with people. So, yeah, they want us to maintain just the social distancing.
Sure.
As long as, you know, there's people that are uncomfortable.
Well, and I think a benefit to flattening the curve, Muscatine County eventually being able to get back to a somewhat sense of normal will be that, you know, being able to bring the kids zone camp back for the kids. Like, that'll be a great sign. Or just having somebody be able to come into your doors to grab some food rescue items, or be able to come into your doors to have a conversation, or come in on a weekend for a service. I mean, those will all be signals of like, oh, okay. And that'll spread quick, right? Like when people are like, hey, you know what? I just popped in to the Salvation Army and had a great conversation, or my kids are going to start at the Kids Zone camp. And that's why, I mean, I'm always the optimistic person. I hope that things start to get better. I'm also not naive enough to think that there can't be a second wave.
Yeah.
But I also want my kid to be able to go to camp. Like, camp is such a good thing. And, you know, I want people to do the right thing and help bring the numbers down and wash your hands and all that, so that we can have things like a great camp and outlets.
It's important for kids to really maintain that state of normalcy.
Yes.
To have that feeling of normalcy. Will things return to normal for Salvation Army as far as like the worship services go? I don't know.
Sure.
And if that means the Salvation Army has to leave the building and go and do, they used to call them open air meetings where they'd stand on the street corner and preach. Now, I'm not sitting on a street corner and preaching because I don't have an instrument to play. I have nothing to offer, no special skill.
Yes.
But if we have to go to a park
Yeah.
and do like take the canteen and
Sure.
hand out, you know, groceries
Mm-hmm.
and hand out stuff that we have to offer and pray with people
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, help just kind of counsel them and spiritual, you know,
Sure.
and emotional care and health, we'll do that. And that to me
Mm-hmm.
is what the Army was founded on, was getting, it wasn't a come and see kind of place.
It
was
is
a go and serve
mobilization, yeah.
kind of place, really. Yeah, and that's what I think the founder William Booth had envisioned for his army as long as it was existing, was a
Sure.
mobilized army that was really a force for good, that was getting out of the walls, not saying come see our programs, but let us go to you. You know, I mean, Tony, back in the day, in the early 1900s, they had what they called slum sisters, the
I don't know what
Salvation
that
Army.
is.
So they were female Salvation Army officers that were stationed in, they called them the slums.
Okay.
And big cities had them, like Chicago had like slum number 1, slum number 5, and there was female Salvation Army officers called slum sisters who would go, and all they would do was they would serve the people in those slums. They would bathe children, they would nurse wounds, they would cook
Louise.
meals, they would clean houses, they would counsel, they would conduct services, and that to me is the Army on the move. And I think in this new state of normalcy,
Sure.
that might just be what the Salvation Army has to move towards. Not maybe to that extent,
Sure.
you know, but
Well, that makes sense to be able to get out into your communities. And I think for you guys, like, yeah, maybe you're not going to be preaching on a corner, but you've got this giant rolling red kettle that can be a beacon of good. And you could certainly roll up to, I just think of like, it'll be hot, it'll be humid, people will be outside, even if you're social distancing, whatever, you're at a place like Weed Park, and all of a sudden you see the red kettle roll up, and it's just handing out bottles of water or something.
Yeah, it'd be cool to like fill that thing with a bunch of coolers with ice, with bottled water, and Gatorades, and you know, a handout that says, "Hey, if you need help, here we are." Maybe some some protein snacks,
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing, and to just let people know that the Army, you don't have to come down to 1000 Oregon Street for help anymore. We can come to you.
No, I think that's a great idea. Is there, so I just had written down, like, is there anything else coming up? Obviously, coming up is continuing to take care of people, meeting the need. And then, yeah, I mean, plans have shifted. So there probably were things on your calendar that you're kind of pushing or scratching. And then I guess, in addition to that, do you have any current needs, whether it's for the cleaning closet or is it just looking for more volunteers to deliver meals? What would you say that you need this week or go looking into next week?
I would say we need, the cleaning closet could always use more supply.
Okay.
I would say more wipes, more disinfectant wipes, the sprays.
Okay.
If you have bottles, small empty bottles
Okay.
of hand sanitizer, we'll take those, or just maybe empty bottles that you had that, you know, maybe you never used them before. Maybe
Sure.
you bought them, never used them. We could use those to fill with hand sanitizer to give out. If people want to still donate, you know, boxed meals like hamburger helper stuff.
Perfect. Okay.
Those P3 protein packs are really good to give out to people with dietary restriction. You know, they can't have all the carbs and all the stuff like that. The, you know, just canned meat.
Okay.
You know, stuff. We want to give people a bag of food that's going to sustain them. And right now, you know, we had to kind of scale back and give. We're not giving as much as we used to through Salvation Army.
Sure.
So a family of 8 gets a bag of food. There's some good stuff in it, but we want to be able to give more.
Well, and it's important again to note that like anything that was collected during the food drive, freezing for food is gone.
Gone.
So it's a different time, right? So if you're watching and you're thinking like, you had a whole semi truck full of stuff, like it's gone. So, and that never has happened before.
No.
It's never been needed. So if you're watching and you're out at a place like Hy-Vee and you can afford to pick up a couple of extra things and drop them off at the Salvation Army, please do.
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely the time.
It can be a
to be generous.
contactless delivery.
Sure.
You can call us up, let us know you're there, open your door, put it on the ground, drive away. We'll come out and get it, and be a contactless, you know, kind of thing. And moving forward, like I say, if we need to feed more people, you know, kids making the 600 meals at their facility, which is great. That partnership is huge.
Sure.
And we really appreciate, you know, the Kent family.
Yeah.
You know, willing to open up their kitchen and
super
do this
cool.
stuff for MCSA, Salvation Army, but really for those folks in need.
Yep.
But if we have to start cooking more meals again down at Salvation Army, who knows? Talk about returning to normalcy if our meal site will ever return.
I was going to say, you probably
normal.
will continue to feed 200 plus people for a while, right? And that's okay as long as you're watching and you can help them keep up with that demand. You know? I mean, that's kind of like what it's not the same thing, but certainly we have never seen as many folks at Hy-Vee order groceries online. And guess what? That's probably not going to change for a while. So we had to hire 50 people and, you know, totally redo that process. And that's been a learning curve for sure, but we kind of got our arms around it. But yeah, we don't forecast that going back to.
No.
I mean, there were days when online we do like 20 orders and we were like, I don't know how we're going to do it. They did 310 one day. Like in a day. I'm like,
Holy
remember when we
cow.
had 25 and we were sweating?
310?
Like, we got 25 orders?
Wow, in one day?
310 in a day. Yeah, I know.
Your team, I mean, Hy-Vee's rocking it.
I feel like we've been doing a pretty good job. And I think everybody here has gone through phases of like, oh my gosh, to being super, you know, tired. And then they get that day off and they come back and they have resumed kicking butt. And I appreciate you saying that because it's definitely been a struggle because like we're busy and it's great, but the last thing that I want to see is people in here buying things out of fear because we're never going to close ever. Like this place never. I mean, we close on Christmas. That's the only day. Yep. You know what I mean? And that'll continue to be the case. And just like the Salvation Army never closes ever.
I was talking to a group of volunteers at the building yesterday that came down through MCSA to help out. And I addressed them and said, you know, I just want you guys to know that you hear the term essential worker, you know, and those folks volunteering might not think that they're an essential worker. But I said, what you're doing is absolutely essential. And it's not just putting a can of corn into a food bag. It's an act of love and compassion by putting something that's vitally necessary to somebody into that bag that's going to be given to them to help sustain them through this pandemic. And
100%.
it might be the only food that they get all week long.
Yeah, and that's worth noting, and those volunteers are unbelievably essential. I mean, my goodness, the fact that they're able to, and I don't know like if a lot of them are retired or whatever, if they could be doing something else, but they're choosing to help out and during a time when it's maybe not as easy to get involved. So that's,
We have a lot of teachers right now that are helping out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is really, really cool.
Doesn't that say a lot that the teachers that because I thought about that yesterday. Yeah. I was looking at my 5-year-old who really has not gotten out of pajamas in 30 or 40 days. And I'm like, you would be in school right now.
Yeah.
Like you would be in school and you're just chilling in pajamas. Like this is, and I hope for their sake, because my kids are 8, 5, and 19 months old. And like the older two, like kind of know what's going on. But I also hope that they can forget about it. I mean, keep perspective, but hopefully by the time they're in high school, they're like, what happened that year when school just kind of stopped right after spring break? Like, yeah, it was a little weird, but everybody got through it, and here's what we did, and we hope because nobody ever wants to go through this again.
Right. I keep making the joke that it's going to be our kids' grandchildren that are going to be in their high school U.S. history class, reading about this pandemic, being like, "Hey, Grandpa, were you alive during this time?" Yes, I was. Let me tell you about it. How everyone had to wear a mask.
That's right. I had a lot less gray hair, is what I'll tell them.
All those stories we heard from our grandparents, you know, like we thought they were like, "Yeah, right.
Sure.
Nope, we're living it."
I'm going to call them whippersnappers. Listen here, whippersnappers, go get Grandpa another water, and I'll tell you the tale of 2020.
Yeah.
Like, were you doing a talk show in a closed down grocery store restaurant? I was. Like, why? Well, it's a long story. Yeah, a lot of this is going to live on. That's the thing. And if you're watching this in the future, you're not missing anything. All right. What you're missing, if anything, is a lot of compassion and empathy. And that'll be the thing that we want to stick around after all of this is over. It's just that strong sense of unity and community. And it's been like Charlotte Schaefer's on the show tomorrow, and I'm so excited to talk to her because I've had to push her a couple of times with rescheduling. And like, it's just so great that we have all of these people working together side by side just because it's the right thing to do. Nobody has an agenda.
Nope.
There's no agenda here. The agenda is there's 315 people yesterday. What would they have done if there was none of this going on? What would those 350 people in Muscatine, we're not talking about 5 people.
No.
So throughout the county, there are 315 people that would not have eaten anything yesterday. Are you okay with hearing that? Like, I'm not. So it needs to we got to keep it up.
Yeah.
And it's tough. And that's why, get a parade on your birthday. Absolutely. Right?
I had this like Marty McFly moment when you were like, if you're watching this in the future, like when he goes back to the cafe, and he sees his
that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
People are going to watch.
I really could watch this back.
It's going to be weird. That's why I'm always super careful about what I say because there's proof that I said it.
Yes.
It's all documented. All right. So what's the rest of your day look like? It's Thursday. It's what is it? It's 10 after 9.
I will tell you, Tony.
Yes.
That I got in this uniform and came here.
Okay.
Thursdays are my day off.
Oh.
And I got just for you, man.
Wow.
I got in this uniform after a night of craziness.
Yeah.
And came here, man, just because.
I appreciate that.
I like you. And
you knew there was a free cake, too.
I know I didn't know there was a
cake. No, I know. I'm kidding.
But I didn't even know that Chris Anderson was going to make me this really cool.
Look at that.
For my birthday.
A sunny day. Isn't that awesome?
Right? Isn't that cool?
Your day's off for Thursday.
Yep.
So what do you normally do? Just hang out?
I don't usually take a day off.
Okay.
That's what my scheduled day off. My My Sabbath is Thursdays, me and Liz. But it's such a nice day outside that I think I'm going to enjoy it with my family. Man.
I know, and I was home with my kids yesterday, and it rained all day.
Ooh.
And it when your 8-year-old can't burn off any energy, and he doesn't want to go to bed.
Oh no!
Oh man, I should have just put him in the trampoline. Like, guys, get out there, grab an umbrella, But yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. And just looking out the window, it looks absolutely awesome outside.
And you know what? Just because I'm the day off for me, I'll probably end up at the Corps at some point today.
Sure.
Checking on how things are going. There are volunteers at the Corps probably right now.
Wow.
Getting stuff together for the grocery bag deliveries that goes out on Thursdays.
Sure.
So it's my day off that I sometimes take. Most of the time I don't. if I do, I'm down there for a little bit of the day, checking on things. And
It's a lifestyle. It's not a job.
It is,
You
really.
didn't sign up to, have
Yeah.
weekends off or whatever.
And I
right?
love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be doing anything else right now in any other place
Sure.
right now. I know I talk a lot about how much I love Northern Michigan.
Sure.
And the Mackinac Island and the bridge and stuff like that. But man, there's just something about these Mississippi River towns,
Yeah.
like I grew up in, that
It's pretty wild, right?
There's something about it that's just like, it just has a hometown feel. And I think we're really grateful and blessed to be here and to work with great people like you and this store and, Scott Dahlke and Charlotte Schaefer and, Shane,
Sure.
Nicole. This is a team effort, and it's going to be one that, like I said, it's going to go down in history.
And it's not even been a year for you guys.
Woo.
Holy moly, not even a year. No, and that'll be what? Is that end of June or July?
June,
End
yeah.
of June, okay. So almost in 365 days, what has happened? A lot has happened. I mean, I hope that here's how I want to know, here's how I'll know that things are getting back to quote unquote normal is if you can sleep in that red kettle next year.
Yeah.
Right? Or this fall, whatever, this winter. That would be a good sign, right?
Who knows? I was trying to think of like a catchy thing for the summertime. If we did
Sure.
like a hometown, hope on the home front appeal,
Camp out in the kettle?
know.
Kettle campouts? I don't know. I don't know.
There we go.
I guess that's it. All right, it's settled. Well, enjoy the rest of your day and tell everybody we said hi and shout out to anybody that's watching that's maybe helped out with Salvation Army or United Way or MCSA. Maybe you were one of those amazing people that donated your stimulus money to help buy meals. That is
More have come
super
in.
cool.
I'm telling you, every day we open the mail,
Yeah.
it might not say stimulus check, but
Sure.
there are a really cool amount of $1,200 donations that are coming in.
Wow.
Like
That's just
back
great.
to back to back. So
That is
it's
just
been
great.
It just shows you how much people care, man.
Yeah, no, I think it says a lot about this community and the fact that they know everything that's happening in your building is good.
Yep.
Because that's a lot of trust to give to say, hey, the government just gave me this money and I'm going to pass it off to this organization because I know that they're super accountable and that they're going to really stretch it out. So that's absolutely great. Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. You could low key, I guess you have to. If
Hey,
you're
man.
speaking on behalf of the Army, you probably
The
have
uniform
to wear...
is a lifestyle with
Right.
Salvation Army officers. This tie, I'll tell you, although I'll show you, I'm trying to cover my my COVID hair here.
Okay, I got an idea. Fundraiser, Salvation Army, hear me out. Bowl cuts for the Army. Once things can get back to quote unquote normal, you just get a bowl, and literally everybody gets a bowl cut, and it's $5 or $10 or $15.
I'll do it. I'll put a bowl on
Would
your
you do
head
it?
and shave you. Yeah.
Wait, why would it have to be me? Wouldn't you get a haircut as well?
I would. There are so many pictures of me growing up with a bowl cut. That's what my curly, crazy hair used to be straight, white blonde hair. I'm telling you, man. And I've had a lot of those.
Would you like to play What's in the Box?
Yes.
It seems like you're really good at this, and Chris is hinting maybe Lieutenant should. So we're the new approach is let me set that over there. So eyes closed.
Okay.
And good luck.
this
Yeah,
way.
wherever you need to put the tea.
Okay.
So What's in the Box, sponsored by
eyes
Toyota
closed?
Muscatine. Yes, and then we'll flip. Chris is going to flip the doors open so the folks at home can see.
Oh, it's long.
There we go. All right. So let's see if we can't. So Lieutenant Bach has his eyes closed. And can we get, all right, let's see here. We're going to zoom in a little bit.
Okay,
What
so-
is in the box? Sponsored by Toyota Muscatine. Lieutenant Bach, what do you got?
It's in a can,
Okay.
and it's like a aerosol kind of can.
That is accurate.
And you're freshly shaven this morning, and I'm not. So I'm thinking that it's probably a can of maybe shaving cream or something like that.
Okay. Take a look.
I say that because last time there was the bug repellent, in
Yes.
there last time. So I think maybe that's what that might be.
It is a dry shampoo. So
It was hair related.
Which, listen, and it's not because you were poking fun at yourself with your hat hair. Today is Hairstylist Appreciation Day. And boy, do we ever appreciate a good hairstylist. I mean, during a pandemic, right? Look at that. It's tropical, dry shampoo. I don't even know how that stuff works, but I guess it does.
Do I put it in now?
No, I mean, I don't know. It really, I think you just, yeah, I don't know. I kind of interested in trying it, but I took a shower and I used shampoo and I have product in, so I would say good guess. You don't have to use it unless you want to. But no, that's fantastic. And as soon as things get back to normal, every hairstylist in this county is just going to be booked out because they're going to have guys like us coming in like, you need to fix this. And that's how I feel.
3 steps to fabulous hair.
Oh my, only 3.
To fabulous hair, man.
You can have fabulous hair.
I could.
I just feel like I'm just going to let it grow. Until I can like safely get a haircut, I'm just gonna let it go. I did shave because I was getting a little, a little grody. But I'm just like I'm in. Like I'm just gonna commit to growing it out, and then when I can safely get a haircut,
I thought you did the other day. I was really jealous. I was like, you got a haircut.
I would
you?
not listen. Somebody told me there's a dude in Moline that's like on the down low cutting hair, and I was like, that feels really shady. I'm not going to Moline to get a haircut.
Prohibition haircuts,
right? Like I'm not going in to like knock 3 times on this door and then it opens. No, like I'm not. I'm gonna keep that business. If anything, I'll go to one of the locally owned salons in town. Right?
That's cool.
And just support somebody that's like been out of work because they have been. Thank you again for being here. I appreciate it. You're a good sport. And all right, let's go to the CVI Bank and Trust aisle cam, which is outside, right on the sidewalk. And we had several people walking past just looking super confused as to what was going on, and that's okay. So that's a live look outside the store. Good looking Thursday here in Muscatine, 9:16 in the morning as we're doing this live. And yeah, the weather should really cooperate. I think that's the exciting news. It was kind of a wash and windy yesterday. I was telling Lieutenant Bach I had a whole bunch of stuff I put out on the curb and called the city last week to get on the curbside pickup. And by the way, those are like unlimited. So if you feel like you have stuff that you want to get picked up, please contact the city of Muscatine and they will get you on your normal day. So Thursday is my normal garbage day. And they came and got all the stuff. Like I had 2 old toilets out there, whole bunch of stuff. Like I cut my finger because the top on one of the old toilets broke in my garage, and there were shards of.
Oh no!
Right. So it's a whole thing. Anyways, it's a whole thing, friends. So just keep that in mind because there is no spring cleanup, and we want you to get your stuff picked up, and they'll happily do that for you. All right. So we mentioned today, the 30th of April, National Hairstylist Appreciation Day, and do have more of those. This dry shampoo, I guess this is a thing. I mean, it's got to be a thing. There's like 3 or 4 different options just right off to my left here. So this one is good if you need volume in your hair. It's volumizing dry shampoo. Look at that. So maybe that's something that you're after. I don't know, right? Or what about this one? Yeah, and on the back it says that it's the United Kingdom's #1 dry shampoo. Because God forbid it be the #2 dry shampoo. That's not going to do you any good. Today is also National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. So, once things again get back to normal-ish, Muscatine Humane Society would love to get you taken care of if you're looking to bring a new 4-legged friend home. It's also National Honesty Day, which is awesome. Oatmeal Cookie Day. So we've got some oatmeal cookies here. I would contest that oatmeal cookies from the bakery would be a better option. But if you just love a sleeve, because the thing about like these, like this is a That Smart oatmeal cookie, you're not just gonna have one, right? You're gonna have like one sleeve. You're going to get a glass of milk.
You just eat the whole thing?
And you're just going to go to town. Like, that's just kind of how that works. I don't think there's anybody that's like, well, I have to open it up and then only have one cookie. No. You're going to have a whole sleeve, and that's okay, too. It's National Bugs Bunny Day. So shout out to Bugs Bunny. I met the guy, Billy West, a couple years ago, who was at Penguins Comedy Club in Davenport. This is long before your time, unfortunately. So Billy West did the voice of Bugs Bunny for a while. He was like the Red M&M and did a whole bunch of characters on Futurama. So he's a super cool voiceover guy. And he was like Bugs Bunny. And he did stand-up comedy, and it was a bad stand-up comedy show. But he was a nice guy. It was just, he probably shouldn't have done stand-up because he just did all these voices, and then it ended with this awkward song where he was playing the guitar, singing a song in the voice of, what's his name? Porky the Pig. It was very awkward.
He did all those voices.
And then like at the end, people were like not sure what to do, and I was just like, because I was kind of sitting in a spot where he could see me, and I was like, that was something. list. Muscatine County Arts Council wants me to remind you, wandering words submissions are still going on. This is a cool thing. So you could potentially have a poem selected that they then put into concrete. So that is awesome. So shout out to Ed Chamberlain and everybody with the Muscatine County Arts Council. Wandering words going on now, looking for your submission of poetry. Again, there's poems all throughout town in sidewalks. There's one right near the library. There's a couple at Weed Park, I believe. If you think you're a poet, maybe you don't know it, you can submit a poem through Wandering Words and get it put into concrete. And I didn't send anything over for that, guys. That's just a note that I had on my list. And then last but not least, it's Military Brats Day. So were you a military brat? Did you move around a lot growing up? Shout out to you and your family. That's marvelous. All right, I'm going to rapid fire a couple of things. You can go if you need to. I don't want to keep you.
Didn't want to
No, go ahead. Get your stuff. Get your day off. You deserve it. Take that cake and have it on my behalf. Because I love cake. Who doesn't love cake, right? Cake is always good. Nobody's ever like, oh, cake. You know what I mean? Like,
cake.
When I ordered that on Monday, there was like a little personal red velvet cake, and I was like, I didn't buy it, but I thought for a second, I'm like, whoa, what's stopping me from just buying a personal red velvet cake?
You know how hard it is not to take one of those cakes home every time?
Right, I was going to say.
Hy-Vee donation.
Lieutenant Box, yes, got that hot new Hy-Vee birthday cake. Yeah. Thank you, sir. You're marvelous. All right, drive-through steak night tonight. Have your steak and eat it too. You don't even have to get out of your car. Look at this. I love this, right? And we're also going to unload some of the domestic beers that we have here at the Market Grill Express in the bottles, $1 each while they last. Let's get those out of here, y'all. Drive-through steak night starts at 4 p.m. outside in front of the store. New York strip steak, mashed potatoes with gravy, corn. You can add some shrimp. You can add mushrooms and onions. How about dessert? All from the comforts of your own vehicle. You don't even have to get out if you don't want to. So drive up and get taken care of. That is on the back page of the Discover Muscatine newspaper, that ad right there. Here's the front of the paper, and then you flip it right around, and you can see the deals on there. Everybody, you always need peanut butter in the house, right? 88 cents for That Smart peanut butter. The Luso thin sliced turkey or chicken on there with the 5-cent fuel saver. Sunny D, Hy-Vee apple juice, canned tuna, ketchup for 58 cents. How much ketchup you going through? My 5-year-old is just insisting that I grill hot dogs for him. I think I've done it 3 times this week. So going through a lot of ketchup at the house, 58 cents is an awesome deal. 25% off all cosmetics. So if you need some makeup, and I probably do, right? I'm looking a little rough. 25% off, and then 25% off all Hallmark cards. So that's an awesome deal with Mother's Day next. Why not get Mom's card today or tomorrow? And then you're taken care of because it's 25% off. You see that? 25% off Hallmark cards. I mentioned that I need gas. In the middle of this ad is a 10-cent fuel saver coupon. This is just because, right? So price of gas for us still at $1.40. Doesn't have to be if you use that coupon. You got to cut that out of the paper, and then you'd pay $1.30. Or if you're like me, I've already got 55 cents on the fuel saver. Guess what? 10 cents on top of that. Boom, 65 cents. It's right here. You got to cut it out, okay? They need that from you. So, like, I'll probably keep this paper. I'm either going to get gas today or tomorrow. I haven't decided, but I'm getting to that point. And then, of course, outside Garden Center, rocking and rolling. Great day to go to the Garden Center. Or maybe you wait until Friday because everything is 15% off. Friday and Saturday, everything at the Garden Center. It's 15% off. So that's great. From the outdoor furniture to things like plants and mulch and everything in between. So like tomorrow, I'll probably buy, I don't know, 6 or 10 bags of mulch, and they'll all be 15% off. So I'm really looking forward to that. It makes it so easy when you can just pull right up out there and they get you taken care of. So whether it is like soil, mulch, vegetables, annuals, perennials, the iron decorations are super cool. It's all there, right? And they're doing a good job. And it's, again, this might be the best day to go out to the Garden Center, right? Not too hot, not too cold, looks great. And they've got it going on, everybody. And then, of course, if you're looking to not have to come in to get your favorites from Hy-Vee, Hy-Vee.com/mealtime makes ordering so easy. It's right here on the paper ad as well. Hy-Vee.com/mealtime. Order from your phone, order from your computer, everything on the menu, good to go. And then you can see next to that with DoorDash delivering everything on the Market Grill Express menu. So maybe you're just looking for like a mac and cheese burger. You can order it through DoorDash. DoorDash is super cool. Like, you order it all through the app, and then you watch the DoorDash person. Like, you can see it. Like, there's a little map, and it shows you when they leave Hy-Vee and they start making their way to your house. Like, you can look at it, and then all of a sudden you see the car pull up to your driveway or your front door. It's pretty rad. So download the DoorDash app and order on the Market Grill Express. It's just like that. And then inside the paper, ad right here. I can't get enough of people walking outside looking at the camera. It's the best. Avocados on the front, hot deals, good savings all throughout. Look for this when you grab your newspaper. That's right in there. What was my mom excited about? The Breyers ice cream. My mom always thinks, and maybe it's a grandma thing, I don't know. My mom always thinks that we need ice cream in our house. So she's like, did you see that Breyers are on sale? And I was like, I did not. And she's like, it's $2.97. And I was like, oh, that's good. And she's like, yeah, do you want me to get you some? And I was like, I don't know. What do we need more ice cream for? Well, Ted likes it. I'm like, I know he does, but he doesn't need it. I feel like that's a grandma move, right? I think I've had one Klondike bar in my whole life. So convince me that I'm missing out on Klondike bars, because right now I don't feel bad about saying that. And there you go, Breyers ice cream, $2.97. My mom's super pumped about that. She's just really excited. So check that out. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else on my list that I'm supposed to mention? I think we're good. Tomorrow on the show, Friday, the 1st of May, we're going to talk to Charla Schaefer, the executive director of the Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine. Certainly during this time, folks are coming together, a lot of good groups, organizations working side by side, and the Community Foundation of Greater Muscatine is there each step of the way helping out, and we'll talk about it with Charla right here tomorrow at 8:30. And then at 9 a.m. tomorrow, our old friend Chef Tess will be here with Maxwell's inside the Merrill Hotel. Certainly one of those places that wants to remind you that you can get your favorites to go from Maxwell's and Chef Tess and Chef Ryan. They've got some fun offerings, some weekday menus, and then like a brunch thing. So we're going to talk about all that tomorrow. 8:30 with Charla Schaefer, 9 a.m. with Chef Tess. I was using my Simply Soothing hand sanitizer, which I like it a lot. I don't feel like it's as intense on the hands. So that's nice. And we still have some of this if you're looking. The Simply Soothing hand sanitizer. Again, this is made in LeClaire at the Mississippi River Distilling Company, and it is bottled in small spray batches by Simply Soothing in Columbus Junction. So that is a great story. And I'm going to make myself a note to email our friend Frida Seiko back with Simply Soothing. Because obviously, you know, it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a buggy summer. I don't know that yet, but certainly our friends at Simply Soothing also have the Bug Soother. So we'll try and talk to him about that. Okay. Thanks to Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army. We appreciate him for being here. Super nice guy. Didn't even know today was his, I guess, supposed to be his day off. Who knew that, right? Appreciate his time and everything that he's doing at the Salvation Army. And my wife is telling me that my son is, they got the battery and the tractor. Oh, boy. She's saying that Ted is the worst driver. So this is the videos I'm getting right now. My son driving a tractor in the backyard and my wife saying that he is the worst driver. Well, he's 5. I don't think he claimed to be a good driver, but that's fantastic. All right, so that's what I'm missing out on is my kids driving a tractor around the backyard. That's fantastic. Can we zoom in on this on the other camera just so I can give people a little bit of perspective of what's happening in my house right now with this kid driving this John Deere tractor. We had to get a new battery because the last one, I don't know what happened to it, I think during the move. So there's Ted just cruising, man, just getting after it. It's just probably running over stuff. I imagine he's running into the trampoline. There's Henry and Lucy just cruising. Yeah. Oh, boy. Because I don't even think we have the charger for that yet. Like, that's supposed to be I don't know. Anyways, that's what I have to look forward to. Kids driving a tractor all over the neighborhood, as if the neighbors needed another reason, right? All right. Thank you for watching the show. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust. Our friends at CBI Bank and Trust, very much open for business. Have they adjusted? Yep. Are they being safe? Absolutely. Can they get you set up for a mortgage or a car loan, whatever the case may be? Yes, and they would want me to tell you to talk to them about it. Explore your options. Same things go for Toyota Muscatine, right? Maybe this is the best time to buy a vehicle with rates being so low and places like Toyota Muscatine very much in business, taking care of folks from the comforts of home. You can go to toyotamuscatine.com. They're even picking up and taking your vehicle in for service and then bringing it back to you. That's really exciting. And a great opportunity to support them would be to upgrade your vehicle. And then, of course, our friends at Lutheran Living Senior Campus who are on the front lines, essential workers, all of them at Lutheran Living Senior Campus are doing a tremendous job during this tough time, and they're taking care of people every day, and we appreciate them. All right, we'll leave you with a live look outside in the parking lot near the Garden Center, near Hy-Vee Gas. Garden Center open for business. I wonder, I don't know from that angle, do you see, look at that. Look at that Sasquatch. Go to the right a little, go to your right a little. Look at that right there. That's one of those iron decorations. See that? That could be yours, like a Bigfoot right there. You would totally, your neighbors would be like, there's somebody on your front porch. No. That's my new iron decoration. Look at that thing. That is tall, by the way. First thing I noticed when I pulled into the parking lot was that. So check that out. Go to the Garden Center. And don't forget, Friday and Saturday, May 1st and 2nd, everything is 15% off. I'll see you tomorrow. Or if you watch this in the evening on cable. Either way, thanks for checking us out, and have a good rest of your day or a good evening. Take care.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton.
Yeah,
this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.